Hello world. Every day there are nearly 3 million trips taken on Tokyo's subway system, Toei. And that's only a fraction of the 40 million train trips that are taken in the Tokyo metropolitan area. That's because there are nearly 50 different railway operators in Greater Tokyo. So, the Tokyo Metropolitan Government, which hangs out in this building, runs these 4 subway lines on the map. And that's only 4 out of the over 150 rail lines in Greater Tokyo. Today, we'll see how these 4 lines are kept safe, clean, convenient, and on time. In fact, so on time that if there is a train delay, workers can go online and issue themselves a late slip. What I'm sure everyone wants to know is how they push people into the trains during peak hours. But I'm sorry to report that while it does happen at certain times on certain train lines, this doesn't happen on any of the Toei lines. Doesn't mean it's not busy though. At Shinjuku Station, there are about 312,000 passengers that use it daily. However, we're at a less busy station, Tojo Mae, on the Uedo line, which has about 52,000 passengers who use it daily. Moving so many people around safely requires the cooperation and coordination of technology, staff, and passengers. Let's first talk about a basic safety feature. Barriers have been put in place on all 4 train lines, but the installation is still in progress on the Asakusa line since it has unique challenges. The biggest one is that many operators and trains use the same set of tracks. To get from Narita to Haneda Airport, a rider will first start off on the Keisei line. However, without exiting the train, they'll magically transfer to the Asakusa line, and then after a bit, they'll do the same feat again for the KQ line before arriving at Haneda Airport. Working with different trains and operators meant
I feel like you'll get lost if you don't know anything in this place. You are 1,000,000%. What is this? What is that?
Transfer to the Asakusa line, and then after a bit, they'll do the same feat again for the KQ line before arriving at Haneda Airport. Working with different trains and operators meant that a new solution had to be implemented to coordinate the arrival of trains and the opening of the safety barrier doors. That solution is these QR codes called Homu Door, which yes, is the English word for home door. It's quite simple. QR codes are placed on specific doors, and when they are scanned by the overhead readers, the barriers will open up as long as the right doors show up at the right spots. For example, this is train car 2, door 3. It's exactly where it should be, so the safety barriers open up. The doors can also be operated manually by the station staff.
で今ここに全部のこのドアの開閉とかが全てここで立ってて、はい、今は全部ドアが閉まってますよという表示になっています。運転士がボタンで操作してドアの開閉を行ってますので、駅のものはそこにちゃんとお客様が怪我しないように、運転士がボタンで操作してドアの開閉を行ってますので、駅のものはそこにちゃんとお客様が怪我しないように、それから書き込み乗車がないように、それから挟まっているものがないとか、そういう安全をまず確認するというのが駅の係員の役目になっています。
Something that can be operated by everyone is the emergency stop button.
この非常停止ボタンを押してもらうと、電車が止まると。柵があるので人が落ちることはまずないんですけども、それでも電車の扉の間からストンと落ちちゃう方がはいとかいらっしゃいました。はい。で、そうです。ここの
I'm not going near a train station anymore.
すべてのここにいる電車全部止まる。
With all the passengers on the trains and in the stations, manners are very important in keeping things running smoothly. On the trains, you can see a series of short videos explaining good etiquette.
got an umbrella here. And we got a little... welcoming on the door. I see. なるほどね。
車内で実際には飲んだり食べたりダメだよっていうのは空いている車内に置いてやった時は誰も不快に思わないと思うんですけど。
But yeah, most trains in Tokyo are crowded with people, so he said it's generally not a good idea to eat and drink on a train. If you've had the pleasure of riding on trains in Japan, then you've probably seen young elementary school
Ganja,
kids
thank you for
doing
the 4
it on their
months.
own. I talked with Suzuki-san about how some people from overseas are surprised about this.
逆に海外の方から見てそう思われるということは、なんで海外だとそれが可能じゃないのかっていうのが逆にってことは怖い人がいるからなんでしょうか。その逆にその方が不思議で、日本鉄道というものはそもそも安全だと。だから乗る人もそれがみんな安全な乗り物だと思って乗せてもらってるので、子供でももちろん塾へ通うとか学校へ通うんだったら子供同士でもと。
4番線は光が丘行きです。
When riding on Japanese trains, as with living in Japanese society, you're always expected to think about how your actions affect others. This is taught at an early age, as witnessed by these booklets elementary school kids receive. For example, talking on a phone is considered rude because it would make the train noisy, not allowing people to relax. On the other hand, they're taught how they can help out passengers with different needs. Along with accommodating small children, the system is also designed to be barrier-free, allowing people in wheelchairs to easily get in and out of trains.
ここの駅だいたい10ミリ以内で抑えられてますので、
怖っ
まずスロープ板がなくてもお客様自身で乗り降りができるようにバリアフリーな構造になっているホームです。ここの場合は直線なんですけども、カーブしている駅においてはどうしてもやはり電車との距離が空いてしまうので、そこの場合にはスロープ板出してお客様を乗せていってっていうことはやってます。設計の段階でちょうど車椅子スペースのところにエレベーターがあれば移動するのが短くて済むというので、大体エレベーターが中ほどにある。で車椅子スペースが大体車両の一本の車両の中ほどにあるような形で設計は、されている。
The designs go beyond just the platform and only being helpful to those with wheelchairs. It's meant to help blind people with canes, parents with strollers, and people with medical needs, like with these bathrooms that can accommodate those with colostomy bags, which is why the term universal design is often used. With so many people commuting, there's bound to be lost items.
あ、くそ。ちょっと待って。ごめん。
車両の一本の車両の中ほどにあるような形で設計は、される。
The designs go beyond just the platform and only being helpful to those with wheelchairs. It's meant to help blind people with canes, parents with strollers, and people with medical needs, like with these bathrooms that can accommodate those with colostomy bags, which is why the term universal design is often used. With so many people commuting, there's bound to be lost items. I've personally lost and received back items 3 times. Twice it was my backpack, once it was my tripod. Each time the missing item was found in under an hour. How could this be?
どこに置きましたか？棚です。それ傘だと手すりですと。私どもの職員が降りてきて、実際今このマイクを使って電車を止めて、今
めんどー。
少々お待ちくださいと言ってその間に捜索します。あまり長時間列車を止めておくと運行に支障が出ちゃいますので、やはり1分とか止めるのが限界だと思います。
All lost items get entered into a centralized computer system so that any station can search for lost items. Every month, roughly 10,000 lost items are found, with the number one thing being umbrellas. You can easily tell that Tokyo's rainiest month is in September. You can also see when winter comes around, as the number of fan gloves spikes.
That's
The
pretty
number 2 lost
cool.
item,
Well,
cash, which is not to be confused with wallets and purses. Something viewers of my past train videos often comment on is how clean the train system appears. This comes down to the passengers mostly following etiquette, but also to the cleaning
Tanaka
staff that are
Taiki, thank
prowling
you
the
for the
stations.
500 bits. Mitsukichi, thank you for 2 months too.
There are first trains and last trains, so for riders, it may seem like it's a system that sleeps a bit. But for the train staff, it's a system that never sleeps.
基本駅の係員は24時間勤務なので、先ほど8時50分交代でに点呼出て、で9時から9時まで、一応基本9時から9時ってなってるんです。電車が止まってる間仮眠、留車担当の人とそれから始発担当の人でそれぞれ休憩時間が仮眠する時間がずらしてあります。だからそれで例えば2人で勤務してたとしたら2人が早番2人が終車の担当ですよというふうにして勤務してもらうという形で対応している。
Before the train staff pack it in for the night, they need to clear the train, especially at a terminal station like this one.
一番大変なのは夜の遅い時間水客の人が車内から出ないとかもう、そういう方を起こしてですね、それで起きていただいてもうここに出すだけでも大変、ほとんど毎日のようにはだいたいでここまでぐっすり眠られてきてで起こされると不満で起こすんじゃないと、お客様終点ですとうるさいとなかなか降りてくれないと、今みたいにこんなすぐドアが開け閉め
どういうことトレイン離れておい起こしてくそやろ
ですけど、その間ずっとドア開けたまま電車も出れませんので、なるべく最初1人の係員が対応してるんですけど、ここ先ほど見ていた2人いますので、その後2人で抱えてで出すというようなやってます。そうですね、こちらの方に座っていただく、で座って行ってももう文句ばかり言ってますので、しばらくね。
Can you sleep there? Can I sleep on the bench? Do they let people sleep on bench?
Since this is daytime, this clearing operation went rather smoothly though.
ご乗車ありがとうございました。終点でございます。そうなんか今一人いたみたいで、今一人降ろしてました。
一人OK
I asked how they handled visitors with questions.
海外の方が日本に来られた時に不安に思っているようなことがあれば、逆に私たちが教えていただければ、その辺をクリアしていくと、もっと日本に来た時、私ども鉄道を利用した時に快適に利用できるかなと思うので、逆にその辺を教えてもらえればなとは思っています。
でもデートプラン教えてくださいっていうのはありました全く決まってないので、ちょっとデートしたいんですけどどこがいいですかっていうのを何がしたいですかっていうのを聞いて、お買い物なのかそれとも水族館
ラブホテル任せろ。デートアドバイスラブホテル
だったり、どこかこう見るところがいいのかっていうのをまず質問しました。
While you can ask for anything, most people query for help navigating the
Don't
system,
ask
like
this
my wife
guy.
is pretending to do. The bigger stations have dedicated
Wait, what?
concierges that are up to the system, like my wife is pretending to do. The bigger stations have dedicated concierges that are up to this
I
task.
thought this was his wife.
I know we focused on trains, but Toe also has buses that transport about 640,000 passengers every day.